So let's begin with what President Trump had said about you, right? That sanctuary city status was what you were trying to do in Westchester County. There's a lot of talk now about the Trump administration with immigration. Now you're the county executive. Have you spoken to him about that? Anything changing when it comes to immigration?
Well, no, we haven't spoken to the president about that. And in Westchester County, we're not a sanctuary county. We do work with federal law enforcement under certain guidelines. So that just was not true. But we're going to continue to work as hard as we can with our federal law enforcement partners, with our local law enforcement partners, to make sure that that the work is getting done. However, we're not doing the federal government's job. They have a job to do, and we work with them through judicial warrant.
Do you have any sensitive areas that you are not going to allow ICE agents to go into? I have a son who's in 6th grade. He's concerned for his friends in a very diverse school district because they've expressed their concerns that they could be taken while they're in schools, churches, hospitals. These are considered sensitive areas. What is the county's stance on these?
Well, the county stance has not changed. Again, in schools and religious faith-based organizations, the reality is that the state of New York controls those particular functions. For the Department of Education, they've been very clear about their guidance. We have guidance on what we do in Westchester County, but at the end of the day, we are working with federal law enforcement when they come through with judicial orders, but we do not. Again, we just do not do their job. And again, we can work through it.
Before we get into further issues facing Westchester County, there's been a lot of talk in New York City about guidance when going into specific places. You just mentioned guidance, right? So what does that look like for these sensitive areas?
Well, and for us, with the sensitive areas that we control, I mean, that's county office buildings and certainly our jail and penitentiary and any other organization, our homeless shelters, et cetera. There's guidance that just says if there's federal law enforcement officers that show up, they present that information to the local staff, and then they have a path and a protocol where they contact the county attorney's office and other staff members to be able to do the work. Again, if somebody walks through the door with a judicial warrant, we have worked with them. We've worked with them since 2018. This is not a new law, and things have been able to move forward without any issues at all.
And would we see the same thing at the local school level as well, since those are not county controlled?
Absolutely. I mean, again, the state of New York has given that guidance from Attorney General Letitia James, Governor Hochul, and through Betty Rosa, the Education Commissioner. And they have the protocols, and obviously different school districts operate differently. We have 26 in Westchester County, but they all have gotten that guidance from the state of New York on what to do. And again, people should understand federal law enforcement activity anywhere in the country is not new. Right. What is new is the perp walk kind of and social media portrayal of that.
Okay.
But again, this is not new, and that's what we're trying to work through and calm people down to make sure that whether they're not challenged and they're not concerned as Kristen's son or any other child may be. Again, it's not new. We're going to keep working through our process. Understood. And we believe in the law and we follow it.
Thank you for getting to that. I want to talk about other big issues facing Westchester County. Right, I spoke to George Latimer quite a bit about affordability and so on and so forth in the county. So what are your biggest issues you plan on tackling?
Well, we're going to continue to work on our affordable housing and climate change because they're tied together. In Westchester, you may or may not know that we have a tremendous flooding issue throughout the county, and that connects right to housing, into affordable housing. We're going to keep working on that and keep working as hard as we can to make sure we're driving down the cost of living, whether that's maintaining our bus fares, whether that is making sure that there's childcare, that's licensed childcare that we're investing in and moving forward with, and again in transportation and investing in our roads, bridges, and safety. We're going to continue to drive crime down with our local partners at the federal, the state, and the local levels, and that is a partnership that has allowed Westchester's crime to continue to be down. But again, that work never stops. It continues to go on, and again, making sure that Westchester can be affordable for everyone is the main goal that we're going to continue to do.
We're out of time here, but I do have to ask you, because this is an interim, right? You won the special election, so now there's this full term. Do you plan on running for the full term in November?
Well, I am running for the full term in November. So, yeah, this is to complete the term of Congressman George Latimer. And now we're going to continue to, in 2 more weeks, we start the petition process where we're going to be moving forward for the November elections. And we intend to continue to make that case around Westchester County while having stability and understanding on how government works is going to keep Westchester moving forward. So
Okay.
thanks so much.
All right, County Executive Ken Jenkins running again in the fall, looking for more affordable housing, driving down crime, dealing with climate change. You got a full plate. We're going to stay in touch with you and see how you do. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.